Yo, what's good with y'all? Pisces and Leo. What y'all doing, yo? What y'all doing? Like trying to win the sex scene, greatest sex scene of 2022? What y'all doing, yo? What y'all doing? But yo, on some real shit, right? For real though, listen. About to get into this forecast for y'all horoscope time, you know what I'm saying? Pisces and Leo. So Pisces and Leo, let me see. The sun is officially in Virgo, right? 23rd of the month is the day that this is transpiring, that I am recording this video of 2022 for y'all. So with that being said, let's get right into it. With the sun being inside of Virgo, it's the seventh sign for Pisces, and it is the second sign for Leo. So you can see like relationships being under the microscope when it comes to Pisces, serious relationships, public relationships, and the Leo, you'll be able to see this. You'll be able to identify this with your Pisces significant other, whether y'all are dating, whether y'all are just friends trying to get serious or whatever the case may be. You'll be able to identify this. And Pisces, you'll be able to identify that Leo has come out of their luxurious season just now, and it's time to pump the brakes a little bit. It's just like side note, what Leo doesn't say it's their birthday? Like, what Leo doesn't tell everybody it's their birthday, right? Like online, if y'all got Leo friends and stuff like that, tell me you know one Leo that hasn't said it's their birthday, even if they did it subtly, like 32 years ago, God knew what they was doing. It's just like, oh, buddy, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing right now. Cut it out. You think you slick. You know what I mean? But I ain't knocking y'all. I actually love that about y'all. You know what I mean? You could count on y'all to do something like that. So here nor there, the celebration has come to a end, should I say. And Leo, you're definitely feeling it. You're definitely looking at the bank book now, and you're telling yourself and asking yourself, what the fuck have I done here? Did I really spend, look, that was my tab. Like what was I thinking? What was I doing? However, at the same time, this is why I personally believe that Leo are the better financial managers out of the fire signs, unless the other fire signs have some type of, Virgo somewhere in their chart that's prominent, for example, that can help them adjust and adapt. Virgo's like, and this is why Virgo is after Leo. It's like the cleanup sign. Like, okay, you partied and now y'all left this big old mess. Somebody's got to clean it up, and that's what the Virgo energy does, to tighten the shit back up and make it run efficiently. So that's where Pisces, you'll be able to see this about your Leo significant other right now, that if they don't notice it themselves, that they might have broke the bank during their season, you're going to be able to see it. And that's one of the things you're going to be taking into consideration during this time, because until mid-September, because that might be one of the factors that may make or break your relationship. You understand what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. This is where you get into contractual agreements, Pisces, with your significant others, with your partners, to determine or not whether you can balance out the relationship. And part of that balance is going to be finances. We are sharing these resources, are we not? If not, let's be clear on that right now. Or let me at least, Pisces, let you at least look at the Leo and be like, do you think you can get this under control? Because it might be doable. I might be able to withstand it if you can get back. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you may also notice Leo's going to hermit mode a little bit, and this might be particularly one of the reasons why, is that, every day is not champagne and bubble baths. You know what I'm saying? So if any time during the year that they're going to notice that and adhere to it is going to be during Virgo season. Let's get right into Mercury then. So Mercury is in the sign of Virgo for both of you, which is the seventh house for Pisces and the, again, second house for Leo. So even more to piggyback of what I just said about the sun being in Virgo for Leos, they're not only going to be being under the microscope about their financial endeavors, they're also going to be thinking about this too. They're going to be learning from whether it was a mistake or it was a good thing, meaning, okay, they may have spent a lot of money at their birthday party, for example, or whatever event that was thrown that they showed up to, and it may have attracted more people, whether to what it is that they were doing. Maybe it just wasn't a birthday party. Maybe it was an event where they rubbed shoulders with other people and got acquainted to the point where it benefits them. Maybe that's where they met you, Pisces. You know what I'm saying? This might be a new relationship that I'm talking to right now. Who knows? But these types of things don't always have to have a negative notion to them just because a lot of money was spent. Fire signs in general, when they put out these, bright things, materialistic events, whatever the case may be, they tend to have more, or should I say the energy in general tend to have more of a, well, when is this going to happen again? When is this going to be done next time? Because it's the positive, optimistic, upbeat parts of life. You know what I'm saying? That says, man, that party sure was fun. Man, I got shot up afterwards, but that's one bad apple out of the bunch. Damn, I just had to add that, right? But you understand what I'm saying, right? Like sometimes the optimistic and the positivity outweighs the negative effects that can happen somewhere in some places. But nonetheless, this is something to look at either way, the pros and the cons. But what's good about this is Mercury is in the second house of Virgo for Leo, which has them at least thinking about it as well, and they're going to be learning from that type of thing. Now, Pisces, with it being in the seventh house for you, you're also going to be thinking about your relationship with this Leo. Like I mentioned before, not only is that under the microscope with you, the thinking process and the putting together of information about this relationship is in motion right now. There may be some emotions involved with that assessment of your significant other, your lover Leo. You know what I'm saying? And you might have been in hermit mode about it in the beginning of Leo season, but now you're more on the lines of maturing about being ready to speak about this. You know what I mean? And if you're not, then Pisces is just some advice to you. You need to check yourself, because the more that you hold on to this and you be secretive about it, you can't expect your Leo lover to be catering or trying to adjust to what it is that you need them to adjust to in order to make you feel better if you don't express that. You know what I mean? They're more along the lines going to express that probably before you. And that's what's good about Mercury going into the third house, should I say, for them, because what it does in the third house for them is they're going to pull your coat about that. They're going to nudge you and be like, yo, is something wrong? I think we should talk. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with you? You know what I'm saying? Now, at the same time, both of you may not have been talking, because with Mercury being in Virgo, there can be some hermit activity going on. Again, they could be internalizing to figure out what they're doing with finances. How do they shape it back up? They might be trying to do it to save the relationship as well, knowing that it may fall on them. It's their second house. You know what I'm saying? So it's a personal feeling that they're having, or a personal discussion that they're having in their head with themselves. Like, okay, I am in a relationship. How much of this is going to weigh on me because of my endeavors, because of my activity, because of what I do? You know what I'm saying? How is the partner going to be affected by that? And at the same time, there's a possibility that they might not even think about that too, because they're coming off of a Leo energy high. They're in a department that's about themselves, really. So they could be more selfish and stubborn when it comes to this time period, Pisces. I'm going to just keep it a beam with you, So again, it's something that you should be able to explain with Mercury maturing before it goes into the sign of Libra for you, Pisces. So when it gets into Libra, then you really might turn cold, and you really might go inward and be like, this is something I got to figure out on my own. You might even have divorce on your mind. I know this sounds kind of cold a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But these are the potential realities that happens during transits. You know what I'm saying? Like, every day is not the same. Every month's not the same. Every season's not the same. And these are the things that happen with transits. You could just have the thoughts. It doesn't mean that you're going to act on them, but the thoughts still are there. And, it's healthy to at least know what the thoughts are if you're not going to immediately communicate them. Sometimes it's strategic not to put your hand out there because you're trying to figure something out, or you might be jumping the gun by assuming and have something wrong. Give it some more time to play out. You might get more information that prevents you from saying and doing the wrong things that can hinder the relationship, right? So that's where y'all are at when it comes to the intelligence and the learning and the speaking to each other. Now let's get to Venus being in the 6th house of Virgo, being in the 6th house of Leo, for Pisces, which is health, pets, chronic illnesses, medicine, how to fix them, good health, not just bad health. And on the 6th of the month, the 6th of September, is going to go into the sign of Libra, right? No, Virgo, So on the 6th of the month is going to go into the sign of Virgo. Now, Leo for you, Venus is in Leo in your sign, and in the 6th of the month is going to go into Virgo, which is the 2nd house for you. So how do we look at this? How do we assess this? Well, for Pisces, you already know. Health regimen, what's going on there? What you're spending your money on. It should be things relative to health. Not only that, you may be investing in yourself to be an entrepreneur of some sort, being creative in some type of way, and it may just be a way that you are fleeting the day-to-day routine that you've had that has been mundane, or hopefully it's because you are an entrepreneur and you are already situated to the point where you can create in this type of way. And it would be great if you could involve your partner, right? Your Leo partner, whatever the case may be. But that's for special types of relationships where you actually work with your partner, right? So those of you who are experiencing that out there, kudos to you. However, at the same time, the flip side of that is Leo could be looking at you like, feeling a little under or unappreciated. You know what I'm saying? You know how the Leos could do. Sometimes you got to stroke their ego. You know what I mean? So if your love planet is in a place where you are working on your routine, you're sprucing yourself up, you might be hitting the pull-up bar a little more, you know what I'm saying? Doing the lineups real nice and all that. They may be looking at you like, you got something going on without me. You know what I'm saying? And that's a little out there. You know what I'm saying? That could possibly happen with anyone. You know what I'm saying? But with Leo, it's probably going to be least to happen with your Leo. And the reason being is their love planet is in their 1st house. You know what I mean? So just think about it. For them to take care of themselves with the love planet, a lot of love given to themselves could be taken at this time. So they might have a better understanding of why you would want to do that. You know what I mean? They might even assist you in doing that, commend you in doing that, saying, you know what, I think that's a great idea. That looks good on you. Self-love looks good on you. They might celebrate that with you, you know what I'm saying, instead of being a hater, you know what I mean? This shit is real, though. You got to watch it. Sometimes you be sleeping with the enemy, y'all. Like a lot of people out there in relationships, y'all be sleeping with the enemy, just keep it official, and you just be doing it because you've been doing it already, and it just seems like the norm. So Pisces, this can be in your mind, too. It's like, is this routine? Because it's still the love planet, so this could affect the routine that happens in love with you, Pisces. So that could be, if this is not a harmonious balance, Pisces, this is the time that you're going to know. This is the time that you're going to know if this Leo is healthy for you or not. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all the above. You understand what I'm saying? So in order to peel back the layers, these are the factors that you should be looking for during this time. But again, with Leo being in the 1st and it's going to shift into Leo's 2nd, this is going to be able to really help them situate their finances. You know what I mean? And they may just be more focused on themselves and finances. But when it gets to Virgo, they may actually consider you in their assessment. You understand what I'm saying? Like, okay, it's not just about me, it's about my partner too, because Venus is here. See, with Mercury just being there by itself and the sun being there by itself, they're going to be more focused on self, because the Mercury is the sun's secretary and the sun is Leo sign. So you already know how that go. You know what I'm saying? So, but when Venus comes in, it could really make it more beneficial for the two of you, because they won't be so about themselves. They won't be so egotistical. They are considering you in the equation. And if you don't see this, just know this based upon this information. You know what I mean? But I don't see how you won't be able to see it. It's Leo. You know. Let's get into the planet Mars then. Mars. I just want to say something real quick about Mercury because shit is slick. Like there's usually there's a 2 week period, shadow period between retrogrades and after retrogrades. And for the life of me, I am under the impression that the shadow period has began already today because, man, I was just irritated and disgusted with, first of all, you know, like those captions and maybe like, yo, prove that you're not a robot. And then you gotta like click on these boxes and all that stuff. Like, yo, I'm telling you, many times I passed the test and it said I didn't pass the test. Just frustrating to the point where I gotta do it again. And then when I'm doing it, they keep putting up new ones. Certain screens that I'm on that is usually take one test, I gotta go through like 13 tests before they let me through on some security check level type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just irritating as fuck. Or I don't know if y'all are getting those messages as well, to where you like comment on somebody's stuff and then the platform is like, could not put this comment, retry again later, whatever the case may be. You're like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And then you leave it alone, like, you know what, I'm done with this. You go leave out, you come back and the comment posted and people unresponded back to it, and you're like, yo, I thought y'all said it didn't post. You know, a lot of that is going on right now. You know, I went to my own mail, my physical mailbox, and I threw all of it in the garbage. Just irritated as fuck. Like, yo, these shouldn't it be default? Like these, like do not call list, do not mail list. This shouldn't that be by default? And then I get to like check the box if I want a certain company to send me some shit. Like, why y'all keep sending me all this shit? I feel like Liam Neeson. You know what I'm saying? I will find you. I will find you. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there too, because there can be some Ori communication going on between you two based upon this shadow period. You know what I mean? And this is going to be something that I speak about for the rest of the sign forecast, because it's in the air. It's in the air heavy. You know what I mean? But with it being Mars today, it's Wednesday now, but yesterday was a Mars day. You know what I'm saying? I recorded this at before 12 a.m., but it was a Mars day. So Mars is a Tuesday, y'all. So this is what raised my anger and frustration like that. So y'all got to pay attention to what day it is, and all of that astrology could speak to you in so many different ways. So it's like, yo, I was frustrated behind that shit. Like, yo, the better I'm doing very good when it comes to like anger management and mental health and stuff like that. Because I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to switch up and go do something. I'm going to go outside. You know what I'm saying? Take a walk. And I do that. That's how that actually happened to me. I made a comment, came back, seen everything posted. I'm just like, it's fucking Mercury retrograde shit. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge is power, y'all. So I just wanted to put that out there real quick. You know what I'm saying? So now back to what I was at, Mars, right, y'all? Mars being inside of the sign of Gemini, we know there's going to be a long Gemini road. Mars is in the 4th house for Pisces and in the 11th house for Leo. Correct? Correct. So what does this mean for the two of you? Well, we know Mars is a selfish planet, right? So let's get that going first. Pisces, you may be doing some work around the house. You may notice that the smallest things in your house get you irritated. Like me, for example, I see some spots where I gotta get the caulking gun out. My brother be helping me how to say this word. He be joking on me and shit. I call it the caulking gun, but he told me it's not it. It's the caulking gun. And I'll be like, yo, whoa, hey, yo. Like, I'll be like, yo, pause, my nigga. Like, get in the comment section. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? So, you know, sometimes you can see the little where it needs some more sealing back up. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna get back to that. Like, that's irritating me right now. You know what I'm saying? Any little speck on the wall that I see is scraped and I got to paint back over it, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get a whole can of paint now, because like, so you might be doing that right now, Pisces. If not, you're probably trying to get out of the house. You're probably looking at any little excuse to get out of the house if you don't got work from home environment popping. You know what I'm saying? If you do, kudos to you. Like I do, and I still want to go outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking and searching for stuff that can help me go outside, you know what I mean, in the community, just to be in motion, because I can also let my thoughts get the best of me. Pisces, you can let your thoughts get the best of you right now, even while you're working. Like, your mind still to be going off. You know what helped me? I ain't gonna hold you. Put on some lo-fi beats, like some lo-fi hip-hop beats while I was working. That's like the best thing that can help calm my brain down while I'm working. It's bugged out. But you know, if y'all in a house together, if y'all stay together, right, this can be you know, you over there and them over there, you know what I'm saying? Or them not even there, or them being on the game like on Fortnite or whatever the case may be. Girl or guy, this shit is real now. The gamer chicks, shout out to the gamer chicks that be topless playing games. But it could be like that, you know what I'm saying? And it's not, because you know this now, I want to tell you to take it personal, because it's a personal planet, first of all, and you both are probably going to be doing things that are geared to yourself, but the difference is the intent and the result of the house is different. So for you, Pisces is fourth house, so you may be under the impression that, oh, your Leo lover is supposed to be more involved with you and this, that, and the third. But for them, it's the 11th house. So it's about their expansive network, their friends outside of the relationship, perhaps. Their friends that help them do stuff that you're just not qualified to do, or that's not your role. You understand what I'm saying? That's not your position. So therefore, you shouldn't be angry or frustrated about these things. All right? So you're going to have to check yourself, Pisces, if this is the type of attitude that you start to bring on to yourself and in the household should this happen, because they're not trying to play you. You know what I'm saying? They just really playing with their team. Now, this could be vice versa with Leo as well. They could be addressing the situation with their friends and their network in a egotistical type of way and be like, you know what, fuck this. I don't feel like fucking with y'all right now. It could be the total opposite. Like, they could be trying to get out of there, or assessing their group of friends like, you know, I bring the table. Y'all do know that, right? Like, y'all know I am the table, right? And they might be moving like that amongst them, to the point where people be like, yo, what's gotten into you, buddy? You know what I mean? It's just like, yo, that's how I feel. Y'all see it. Y'all see my moves. Y'all see the moves I just made during Leo season. You see me, you know what I'm saying? And they might just be like, oh man, it's all bad, because you gotta remember, Mars is in the opposite place of where it would like to be. You know what I'm saying? 11th house, 5th house, opposites. So it's in Aquarius's house. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't mean Leo's going to play nice all the time, especially when the war planet is there, you know? But should they be able to be put in work and stuff like that, and do something that is puts forth a humanitarian effort, then it can make them feel better. Like they might be engaging in some like back to school drives right now, some book bag giveaways, some stuff like that, and that might make them, you know, participate better, you know. And should they get some cameras on them, even better, right, for the Leo. So, you know, they get to be prideful about that shit. But yeah, this is the desire planet as well. So Leo, you want to get it in, go home. You know what I'm saying? Pisces is not 9 times out of 10 going to be home, or at least be trying to get home, or needing a reason to be home. So check your sex life. With sex life between Pisces and Leo should always be top notch if y'all fucking with each other. You know what I'm saying? That's my point of view. That's my perspective on it. You know what I'm saying? If y'all clicking, there should be no quarrels about sex. Anyway, so you see my face drifting off to like, anyway. So yeah, what's the next planet, yo? Jupiter, the transitional planet of Jupiter being in retrograde in the sign of Aries, second house Pisces, and the 9th house for Leo. So second house and Pisces can be like rather disgusted with people that they've been involved with, who they feel now all of a sudden just don't make the cut. Like, they don't fit the criteria of what this Pisces feels benefits them. This is really a time where Pisces is reflecting and saying, you know what, it's not all it's cracked up to be. The expectation of these the expectation of the connections are not what I thought they would be. And you know, this can change because their mind is being brought to it. And what I mean by that is, sometimes when the universe realizes that you realize, then magically things start shifting, and they could start shifting in your favor, especially when you let go of something. This is for Pisces in particular, y'all. One of Pisces' power is surrendering. So a Pisces can hold on to stuff and be like, yo, I really want this to happen. This is what I truly believe. But when that time comes, especially retrograde periods, when they internalize, they get to realizing, like, you know what? I'm just a sucker for this area of life. I'm a sucker for my own beliefs, to the point where I don't pay enough attention to other things in my life, like, and think like this could possibly go south. This might possibly not happen or be meant for me. But when a Pisces gets to letting it go, like, you know what, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a thought. It's nice. You know what I'm saying? If y'all think I ain't worthy of this shit, then fuck y'all. Talking to the universe. And then the universe be like, oh shit, like he really, like, you know, she really don't give a fuck no more. All right, let's throw some spices in there. Ding, 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 ding. And the next time you turn around, you're like, oh, okay, now y'all paying attention. So this is where Pisces is at right now. Being that, you know, they thought the grass was greener somewhere else. Maybe it wasn't, you know. And it usually happens that way. It usually occurs that way because of what they thought could be, you know. The bigger picture would be if they connected with a person like this or connected with a person like that, then it would equal that. And then once the combination occurred, it just like, it didn't result in that, you know. So this is what's weighing on Pisces' mind right now. More may be less may be more. And it's just like, yeah, people might be on the chopping block because of that. Now, Leo, don't take this personal. This more than likely has nothing to do with you unless you're in business with your Pisces lover. You know what I'm saying? If you are, then this will include you. And this will be a time that you shouldn't be stubborn. This should be a time that you're not so egotistical. This should be a time where you use your ego and you use your love of yourself to inspire your Pisces mate, because Jupiter's in their second house, meaning you should want the same for them that you have for yourself. And even if you don't have it already, Leo, you know you manifest the belief, or at least the feeling, that you have it already because of how you involve your ego in your everyday life. You know what I'm saying? Pisces doesn't operate the same way. Pisces can be so dispersed amongst their belief and what they do that, you know, putting the self is usually last. Okay? So this is where you can assist them during this time as Jupiter is retrograde. Now, for you being in the 9th house, Leo, Pisces, pay attention. Your Leo may be looking, their ego may get involved along the lines of comparison to, how should I say, separate themselves from the rest. And it's not necessarily because of a competition thing. It's more along the lines of how can they go on a journey? How can they fulfill themselves? Even might be something along the lines of something that they've never considered or they thought was corny or dull. They might want to go into higher education right now. All right. They may be internalizing and reflecting on it. Like, you know what? You know, people might say this, that, and the third about college, but I didn't do it. Imagine if I did do it. You know what I'm saying? Or they might be looking at higher education in a downward type of way, like in a degrading type of way, like, oh, they think they flashy and fly because they got degrees. I don't need a degree. I can do X, Y, and Z without a degree. You know, they might be doing a lot of questioning of institutions that put themselves above the hierarchy because of their accolades, their academics. You understand what I'm saying? Like the elite, they may be some quarrels with the elite, maybe in politics or something that the Leo is looking at. You know what I'm saying? And feeling that they could even do that, or I could be in politics. I don't need to be a military person to do it, or I don't need an education to do it. I don't have to be a cop first to do it. Like they could be there with it. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't take this personal either if I was you, Pisces. You know what I'm saying? This is probably a journey that they need to take in order to break free of something, you know, be more truer to themselves. Perhaps they've been in a regimen that is not cracked up to what it was either, you know. Sometimes Jupiter can deceive us because it's gargantuan, right? It's this bigger picture, and of course it's optimistic. We all would like the things to be better. The human condition, the earth, the atmosphere, all of that stuff. Well, I would hope you would want to anyway. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes when we put our best foot forward to make those things happen, there's still the fact that other people want to see that not happen, or people want to tear that down, or there's the pessimistic side to it that says, it's kind of like when a company adds a new feature to their product and you're like, yo, I ain't asked for that. Like, I don't like this new feature. Oh, well, y'all just did it because Droid did it first and now we got it. Apple, like, y'all are corny for that. Like, I don't really like this. You know what I'm saying? I could really go back to, they might switch brands because of something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, sometimes when we think something is greater, it's actually a hindrance. You know, sometimes when we speed out and do something quick, just think about when they made the automobile and they put it out on the streets without a seatbelt, right? So that they basically took the technology that they acquired and threw it out there. You know what I'm saying? And then as car accidents started happening, deaths and flipping over on bridges and stuff like that, as they went along, they started making these rules and regulations and stuff. And it's just like, yo, y'all couldn't have did that. Y'all couldn't foresee that before. And it's just like, sometimes we rush these ideas to the market because of the hype, because of how huge we see them to be. And it's just not what it's cracked up to be. So the good thing about this is Jupiter's retrograde for everybody in the universe right now, right? But again, it's the houses and how they're going to impact the intent and the result of you too. So be mindful of that now that you have the information. This should help y'all transition, and y'all should know where each other is trying to transition at to be better, productive humans. You understand? So if this feels like a cycle that you've been through before, give each other space to work it out, so that maybe perhaps this is the time that you, like a video game, you beat the boss and you go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Saturn retrograde in the sign of Aquarius in the 12th house for Pisces. Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius in the 7th house for Leo. Let's begin with Pisces. As I've mentioned, well, this is for different signs. So Leo, as I've mentioned in past signs for Pisces, this channel is kind of biased because I do Pisces and Leo, Pisces and Taurus, Pisces and Cap, you know. But, you know, what do you want me to do? But anyway, Pisces and Aquarius is like, Saturn and Aquarius for Pisces is this is going to be the most powerful part of transitioning in a relationship for you two, is where Saturn is. And it's in 20 something degrees. It's in retrograde, meaning it's going back to figure some things out, though, to figure out some things that were overlooked last time, to help bring your attention to the people who were involved when things that you thought were going to work didn't work. So now you got to piece together, Pisces, why it didn't work. What about that person made that thing not work? And it could be something as simple as them giving you a hint. No, I say this, more associated with them giving you space. It's not even giving you space. So it's kind of like getting a message from someone or sending a message to someone and they leave it on read, right? Like you telling them to check this out. And it's probably along the lines of something work related, probably something along the lines dealing with the internet. And you're like, yo, check this out. I thought about this. I want to run this by you and see what you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Or help me troubleshoot this X, Y, and Z. And then they like never fucking respond to you. You know what I'm saying? And y'all might have had conversations afterwards, and that was never even brought up. Like, yo, remember when I told you to, why you ain't check that out, or what happened? You know what I'm saying? It might never ever been brought back up. But now you're gonna get these downloads that suggest that you do think about that. And why that didn't happen, you may have to make your own assessment, and it's going to be involved with delay. So you got to tell yourself that it happened for you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever delay was put forth, don't take it personal. This is for you to transition. You know, it might be something about that individual, or it might just be something about the structure that you put together that made this delay occur. But now is the time to situate the decision that was made behind that delay to make it flow now. All right. So whatever component was missing or needed to be added or needed to be retracted, right? Retract. Then that's what needs to be done right now. I could utilize astrology as an example for this as well. You know what I mean? With Saturn being in retrograde, I'm more back into my astrological studies. Aquarius rules over astrology, So I've been on and I've been on and I've been working on and working on and working on, and at the same time, pumping the brakes here and there. Why am I pumping the brakes here and there? Because the universe wants to work for you, Pisces, right now as well. And what I mean is, with Saturn being in the 12th house, you can overdo what you do for charity work to the point where it's like, okay, you make all these videos, you make all these TikToks, for example, you make all these OnlyFans, for example, you know what I'm saying? You get everybody cheery and love and hyped up and hard, horny, whatever, right? And it's just like, yo, what about you though? You might have a lot of free videos floating around. You might have a lot of, free content in general. And it's just like, yeah, you benefit from the feeling of serving people, but the universe is watching still. You know what I'm saying? You could actually take a chill pill and it'll work in your favor. You can actually get these people to being like, yo, she dropped a video twice every day for the past 2 weeks. Then when you dip off, they're going to miss you. So the saying goes, love grows fonder in the absence, or some shit like that, So take that into consideration right now, Pisces. Leo, everything that I just expressed is that's just a sector of what the Pisces can be doing right now when it comes to hard work. And another thing is, Leo, you'll be able to find this out about Pisces people in general, should you be dealing with one right now. The saying that Pisces is lazy, or they don't do nothing in the world or some shit. I done heard a whole bunch of shit, right? I'm pretty sure all of you signs have, but this is where you'll find out how vast the Pisces is because of Saturn being in their 12th house. They'll be dipping and diving into all of the things that make them who they are in a comfortable way. It's 12th house. You know what I'm saying? So this is where they actually feel valued in, what's that word I'm looking for? Gratified. Not only that, but they feel, it'll come to me, but they feel valued. You know what I'm saying? Doing what they do finally, because usually 12th house stuff is not the norm, or it's not, it's not societal norm, should I say. You know what I mean? It's always like the dumping ground where people go to hospitals because they're sick. Oh, now you love me, you come to the hospital. Pisces rules over that. Or they're criminals and now they go to jail. It's just like, oh, now you want to go read Bibles and put kufis on because the Lord done caught up to your ass. Now you love me now, huh? Like, that's all Pisces shit. You know what I'm saying? And they got to deal with that on a constant basis when they are comfortable doing diligent work in those areas of life. You know what I mean? And if they could have it their way, they probably would be nurses all of their lives. People would probably be getting massages and getting tune-ups on their knees and stuff in their teenage years. You know what I'm saying? Without having to take a sport. If Pisces could have it their way. You know what I'm saying? So you can see the Pisces in isolation working hard on these things and actually be happy. They could be quiet, they could be reclusive, but they'll be happy. You know what I mean? And I would warn you of trying to disrupt that, because your Saturn is inside of your 7th house, Leo. I'm gonna just keep it a beam with you, because first of all, Saturn is not in a comfortable spot for you, because Aquarius is your opposite. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be nudging you to do some type of work on your relationship that is more expansive, that's more mental, it's more cerebral than just showing out, and being you. And that's supposed to be somewhat enough to brighten up your partner's day. Your partner is going through things diligently that have to deal with the world at large, whether it's institutions, belief systems, the atmosphere, the environment in some type of way. And these are things that you might find corny from a Leo's perspective, just because of who you are. You know what I'm saying? But this is the difference between you two. But you can relate because of how uncomfortable this time could be for you, Leo, because you have to do some introspective work when it comes to relationships in general. But you can you can attest to how being comfortable, the Pisces must be uncomfortable during periods or transits where it's more along the lines of the societal norm. It's more along the lines of rubbing shoulders and following trends and being like other people in order to fit in. You know what I mean? Pisces, the energy doesn't like that. What Pisces does is they adjust and they adapt. They become chameleons in places that they're unfamiliar with. It's not that they can't play the role. They love playing a role. And that's where you two can click, because you both can play roles, right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, initially, it's really not Pisces' thing most of the time. You know, Pisces would rather be off doing other shit than sports, drugs, and entertainment. Well, drugs probably. But instead of being at the football game is pretty much what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So Saturn can be real dull at this time for you two. Saturn could be real heavy on you two. It's in 20 degrees. It's in retrograde. So it's forcing you almost to look at these things about yourselves, about each other. You more than anything, Leo, to be looking at yourself and how it comes to relationships. Because another thing, Saturn in the 7th house, though, is very strong when it comes to devotion. So Pisces, pay attention to your Leo partner, because if you know, like, people with Saturn in the 7th house natally, they are the strongest people for their partner. Like, they are thugging it out from beginning to the end. You could throw the furniture, you could throw the dishes. They just might walk out and be like, okay, I'll see you later. I see what's going on here. Okay. Me and you though, you know, me and you. Me and you. That's Saturn in the 7th house. So Leo, if you're not feeling those vibes right now, this is something that you're going to be internalizing and figuring out why not. You know, you in it or you out, you know. So Pisces, you want to eavesdrop on your Leo lover. This is the time, while Saturn is transiting Aquarius, this is the time to figure out whether they in or out, you know. So yeah, that's what I got for y'all, Pisces and Leo. Hope y'all enjoyed this reading, this forecast. This will last y'all until mid-September. I should be back to update it along with the rest of the signs. And yeah, have a great time.